Hello everyone, Brendon Snyder here. How are you? And thank you for joining me. So we've got another brand new release that just came out Friday, February 7th. It is Green Day's Father of All. Of course, the full title to this is Father of All Mother Effers. We're going to keep it clean since we're here on YouTube, but that would be the full title by Green Day for this new album. It's a very different retro sounding album. The other thing of note is that it's also their shortest album at 10 tracks and 26 minutes long. Now for me that's both a good and a bad thing. I definitely like the shortness of it because there's no filler. Each track is really great, just blows right through, boom, boom, boom. Each track, it's really, leads right to the next. Problem is by the time I'm getting to the 8th and 9th track, the album ends and I'm wanting more at that point. And so, me being here in New York City, riding a subway, most of my rides are about 30 minutes. The album doesn't even get me all the way through it. And I was, wishing there'd be more. And so I'm kind of hoping that with the album being so short, that within about a year's time, we're getting another album by them. It's either the leftover tracks or it's tracks they held out instead of making this album longer, because they certainly could have doubled the number of tracks on this thing to 20 tracks and had a 50 or 60 minute album. But anyways, right now, this is what we've got. It's the brand new Green Day, Father of All. As I said, it's a very retro sounding album. It's got a much more carefree attitude to it. Less of the political angst that we know Green Day for. I would also say it's about the direct opposite of American Idiot in terms of sound and lyrics and whatnot. And this is definitely not your 1990s Green Day sound either. It's retro sounding with a lot of layered production, almost to the point of overproduction on it. But they've been doing that since the early millennium and exploring that. They're definitely doing it here, and it's something new. And glad to see that they're breaking some new ground on this. Billie Joe describes this as new Soul Motown Glam, and I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I hear a 1950s, 1960s rock and roll type sound, some rockabilly and blues influences in this thing. Very Kinks sounding, the band The Kinks, All Day and All the Night, Girl You Really Got Me, things like that. Definitely the riffing on that I can hear in this. And the other thing is there's some really cool instrumentation and background vocals in this that are in the background on it. So definitely check out what's going on in the background too while you're listening to this thing, because there's a lot going on even though you hear the upfront bits of the song. Some of these tracks stood out to me, and I'm going to run through those for you. And the first one is track number 3, Oh Yeah. And it's got a sample from Joan Jett. She was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she's going out on tour with Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Poison, so do check her out. They sample a line from the song, Do You Want to Touch Me? The line, Oh Yeah, that's in it, and the way that it's sung, and there becomes the refrain here in the Green Day song. Definitely the biggest sounding song on this album. I think it's going to go down really well live. It's going to be cool. I think the fans are going to love singing this back to them. The next track, track 4, was also a standout song for me called Meet Me on the Roof. And this one has the opening line, I'm going to crawl on the dance floor. For me, just totally sums this song up. It is a very danceable song. It makes me want to move and jump around. And as soon as I hear it, I start bopping my head and everything. And, I think it's pretty cool just for that alone. Gets me going. Track number 5, I Want to Be a Teenager, is the closest in lyrical content, I think, to previous Green Day sounds, and the opening bass line on it, too, is also very reminiscent. So it's got a very kind of cool sound that throws back to what we know Green Day for there. And those two songs, Meet Me on the Roof and I Was a Teenager, is a very reinvigorating type sound. I think it's cool that they're exploring this. So I hope they do a little bit more of that. Track number 6, I Want to Stab You in the Heart. Just the title alone I think is pretty cool. But this one has that rockabilly sound, 1950s sort of straight ahead rocks a la the Kinks sort of sound to it that's really cool. And then track number 8, Junkies on High. It's a really cool, dark sounding, sparse song that's got some interesting piano interlaced in it for a different feel that I really like. So all in all, though, the album, though, is, as I said, pretty cool. It's retro sound, different than what we're typically used to from them. Let's take a look at it real quick, just so we can see what all this is. That's the front. And there's the back side of it. It's got them doing some hijinks there. Track listing down the side. We open it up. cool CD. I like the rainbow spewing unicorn that's there. And then you got the three guys again in it, and just pull the booklet out. It's a good size booklet here. Most of it is, it's got some cool pictures there, but of course most of it is just the lyrical information that's in here, but it's done really well. Something on each of the page. You got this cool centerfold shot of them. And then back to some more lyrics and things. And then the last page, another great shot, and the end of that. So another cool thing here about this is that they just inked a 2-year deal with the NHL. And they're going to have their music played in promotional ads and stadiums and things of that nature. And they've already got the first 2 songs, Father of All and Oh Yeah, being played. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, with album sales just not being what they once were, and radio's not the same, there's no MTV out there. Bands have to find a new way to do things, and so, you know, with them being able to ink a deal with the NHL and get their music out there, you know, I totally support that, and I think that's pretty cool. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope everyone has a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.